Prepare to attack.
What's up, y'all? It's FTKComputer. What up? I'm doing. I don't know what to say there. So I'm gonna be doing something a bit different. Um, I did this a long time ago, and a lot of you guys liked it, so I figured I'd do it again, where I just like talk openly and freely about like my thoughts on things that are current. And so one of the big topics of discussion in the Overwatch community right now is the Symmetra rework. And so I just wanted to kind of give my thoughts because I know a lot of you guys have been asking me in the comments. But it's a lot easier to just do it in video format as opposed to just, answering it to every single person. And it kind of will give you guys a space to discuss it amongst yourselves as well as with me in the comments. Like, it'll all be in one space. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So, the first thing I want to say is that I think that this is a long time coming, this Symmetra rework. The first Symmetra rework definitely put Symmetra in a better place than her, her first incarnation. If you've been playing Overwatch that long, you know the Symmetra struggle where she had 3 turrets and she gave people the little 25 HP shield. Whew. So like for most of us that have been playing Symmetra since before that, we've been pretty satisfied with the first rework. However, as the game progressed and the balance has shifted with different characters being buffed and nerfed and whatever, I think it just kind of kept getting Symmetra in a worse and worse place. And I think because Symmetra isn't really as popular as like, Mercy or Junkrat, Blizzard kind of was lazy. They were dragging ass. Like they could have been started fixing Symmetra, but they just waited so long because not that many people were playing her. So I'm happy that they're reworking her. I know a lot of people like this current incarnation of Symmetra, which I mean I do. I like her. Oh my god. I like her. I think she's fun to play, but as far as like viability in a lot of situations, I feel like Symmetra's just too much of a risk. So yeah, who knows what we'll see. I think so. I guess at first I'll talk about things that like I want to see versus like things that I think we're actually going to see. So well, actually, let's talk about like the things about Symmetra that are an issue at the moment. So I think the first thing is that Symmetra is countered by so many people, and fairly easily as well. Like, Pharah, Tracer, Reaper, Junkrat, like any character that has a range. Any character that has like some kind of movement ability. It's just kind of, I mean, playing against that, which is so many characters right now, it just feels kind of, you feel like in Symmetra you really don't, it's like when you engage someone or when someone engages you, you know whether or not you're gonna win that matchup, and a lot of times it's a losing fight because you don't really have anywhere to go, you can't really maneuver. And while yes, Symmetra doesn't. Oh, it's right here. While Symmetra doesn't have to aim, her damage is pretty much set in stone. So most characters know when to like get in and out. Now, in a team fight, when everyone's kind of just moving around and things are hectic, Symmetra definitely can prey off of that and like, wreck the entire team if they're not paying attention. But I'd say most of the times, especially now, like because Symmetra's been the same way for so long, and then also because if you get into the higher ranks, most people know how to deal with that easily, So that's one of the issues. The other issue is her ultimate. The shield generator can be pretty valuable. So can the teleporter, but the issue with it is that it's very easy to destroy. Especially because now almost every single team is running a tracer. and it's just so easy for Tracer to just get in, get out, and then you're kind of stuck with the situation like, do I actually try to defend the teleporter, or the shield generator? Do I
My teleporter is online.
you know, do I leave my turrets there? But even with that, like, ugh, that's such a, it's just not very, you know, it's just too much of a risk. Whereas like with Moira's addition to the game, like Moira doesn't need to do any of that. Moira can pretty much sustain an entire team during a team fight fairly easily. So it's like, I think that's the next thing I wanted to talk about. I think Moira's addition to the game kind of kind of makes Symmetra somewhat obsolete in a way, because I mean, granted, I love playing Symmetra, which is why I'll play Symmetra over Moira sometimes, but it's like certain situations you feel like, why would I go about all the extra work to like leave the team fight, go put down a teleporter, go put down a shield gen, so just so we can sustain. Whereas with Moira, I can like be in the team fight, I can sustain the team easily, and I can survive almost every single ultimate because her I don't know, her teleport move, I forget what it's called, but her teleport move is just so good. So yeah. So with all that being said, you know, I'm sure Blizzard agrees in some way. So they decided to do a rework. Whereas it seemed like before, Jeff Kaplan was kind of on this thing where he was like, oh, well, Symmetra's kind of a niche pick. So I think he even said like she wasn't in that bad of a place. He said something along those lines that people were like, what the hell? I think a lot of people call bullshit on that. And no offense to Jeff, because I mean, he is one of the lead people on the Overwatch team, so not that he doesn't know what he's talking about, but I feel like a lot of people that play, you know, hundreds of hours of Symmetra kind of understand that, like, to say that she's not in that bad of a place is kind of an understatement. So initially we thought we were just getting some tweaks, but I really couldn't see what kind of tweaks they would make to kind of change Symmetra's position in the game. Like any small tweaks, like making her gun a little bit longer, or making the shield generator do more. I don't know. Like, I just didn't feel like those kind of things would really. I don't know. I didn't feel like those things would would bring up Symmetra's viability in the, like, when it comes to like really high level Overwatch, or like the Overwatch league or whatever. So I was kind of glad when I heard, when y'all started leaving comments talking about that they were gonna do a rework. I was happy because I was like, thank God, because I feel like little tweaks aren't gonna address the issue. You know what I'm saying? With so many super mobile characters, super long range characters, and Symmetra's kind of just caught out there. Not to mention, whoa, I forgot something. Another issue, I guess I'll vote for myself, I'm the only support. The other issue is that Symmetra is in a weird place when it comes to her her role in Overwatch, her characterization as a non-healing support. Like, I think when they came out with that idea, they were probably like patting themselves on the back like, oh, we're so edgy with this, but it just didn't pan out. It didn't pan out the way that they thought it would, because it's like Symmetra focuses on damage, and she's the only support that doesn't heal, but then she doesn't do that much damage, and then she like has trouble, like she doesn't have any like maneuverability like a lot of the DPS have, or like anything to self-sustain. Her little photon barrier, I mean, it's very rare that will like save you in a clutch moment. Maybe for like a diva ult or like a Ryan ult, but man, in so many situations, like where they kind of showed it, they were like, oh well, you can use the photon barrier to make a push. It just didn't really pan out that way because it moves so fast, and then as soon as it hits the wall, it's like done. So it's just like, well, I've tried to use it that way, but it just didn't. It didn't pan out. What can I say? So I feel like what I hope, well, I'll get into that later, but yeah, I think this whole idea of having a non-healing support, it just it just doesn't work. You know, it's always going to be a controversial pick because healing, I feel like Symmetra can kind of like put padding on a team, but it doesn't really make up for a healer's position. You know what I'm saying? Even Zenyatta, who can't really heal that much, just the fact that he can heal like from anywhere on the map, you know, whenever his team is in line of sight, like the shield generator, like it just doesn't have that kind of that use, you know, and the teleporter is still, it's also risky, and you gotta leave to put it down, and it's too easy to destroy. So I mean, I'm sure there are some other issues with Symmetra. If you play Symmetra and there's an issue that you usually have that I didn't mention, besides Pharah, because we already know what that issue is. Pharah, and for characters like Pharah and Widowmaker that just be all out your range and you can't do anything because you gotta like, you actually have to move across the map, but you can't do it if there's like a Widowmaker posted, so, or a Pharah that's flying way in the flying above in the atmosphere and you can't hit her anyway. So yeah, so let's talk about things that I think will happen with the Symmetra rework. One thing I believe will happen is that they're gonna get rid of photon barrier. I think that it just doesn't really have a good, like, it just doesn't really have any like super valuable use, you know, as a, like an ability. And while it can protect you, it also has like a long, it kind of has a quite a long like recharge, and it's like, you know, I just feel like it as a shield, it just doesn't really, it's just not good enough, you know. It's not horrible, but it's just, I feel like there's so many more useful abilities than that. I mean, I just don't, it's not bad, you know, but like, okay, for instance, if say a tracer's flanking you, right? What's the photon barrier gonna do besides keep you alive for another, you know, 10 milliseconds, you know? Or like a Reaper's like flanking, or a Pharah, like, unless Pharah has her ultimate, and most Pharahs at this point know now that if you're fighting against Symmetra, you know not to use your ult because you know she's gonna just throw photon. So most of the time they'll just fly above you and kill you, like. So I feel like they'll get rid of photon barrier. Another thing that I think they're gonna do is change the way her turrets work, because they're just not, like, they can be good, but with, I mean, think of the characters that are popular, you know, Diva, Winston. It's just like, they can easily spray the turrets and get rid of them in, you know, 3, 2, 1, and then you're left out with like you know, you're left without anything. And without the turrets, it's just kind of like, that's like, it seems like Symmetra's kit and her idea was built around her turrets, but the turrets just aren't really that good, you know, even compared to like Torb. Like, his turret has crazy range. It has 100, I think it has 100 health, 150 health, something like that. And then he can constantly throw out shields for everyone. So it's like, you might as well use that, especially with like cheese comp now, or like an Orisa. And it's like a lot of people would just rather have a Torb because he can constantly support and not just depend on his ultimate to support. Whereas Symmetra kind of depends on her ultimate to support the team. So I think they'll change the way her turrets work as well. I think they're gonna probably leave her primary fire alone, because there's it's like, that's risky to buff or nerf. Maybe they'll change it from being like an auto lock to kind of like a Moira situation where you kind of have to aim, but not all the way. Like, I mean, I wouldn't have like an issue with them changing the way Symmetra gun works if they, like, you know, consider the rest of her kit, because even though Moira has to aim somewhat, her range is crazy good. Like Moira can like look at how far she was. She was all the way on the other side of the point, draining draining Roadhog's life and happiness. So it's just like Symmetra doesn't have that range, which is kind of why her gun is more powerful. But once people, so many people just can. I feel like so many characters are just so mobile, like they can just easily get out of it, you know. So yeah, I think her gun is gonna probably remain. Don't really know about her her balls. I kind of wish, I kind of feel like they should get rid of that too. I know some people, I like them in certain situations, but not in all situations. I feel like you just sit there and spam and just like hope for the best. Why is this Roadhog always there? God, he's like Michael Myers. He's always there.
30 seconds.
Like I feel like even Moira's balls are so much. It sounds funny, but I feel like Moira's balls are a lot better because they bounce. See, look, he's there again. God, Roadhog, just let me live my life and make this video. Are you serious? Did I get slept?
10 seconds
Do
remaining.
not let up. Victory will soon be teleporter online.
Lost my train of thought. Okay. Yeah, her balls. One thing I wish that her balls did was like go through like surfaces, not shields, but like would actually go through walls and stuff. I think that might be kind of OP, but I think it would be fun. Or like they bounced as well, like maybe they bounce off one surface and that'd be it. I don't know, like something. But I feel like they're gonna get rid of that as well, because just sitting there spamming balls waiting for your ult to charge is kind of like, I feel like it kind of serves the same purpose as like the initial shields, where it's just not very active, you know. You're just kind of like just sitting there spamming the balls and hoping that they hit something. And like honestly, what that can end up doing is feeding as well. So then you're like, well, you may be getting your ult, but you might be feeding Mercy's ult as well, and Mercy's ult is a lot more powerful in more situations. Or like, you know, Lucio's ult, like. So I don't know, I just feel like that's kind of another thing that can go. So I'm ready, honestly. I'm ready for the photon barrier to go. I'm ready for the balls to go. I like her gun. I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with aiming with Symmetra. Like, that doesn't really scare me, but I like her turrets. That's the one thing I don't want them to get rid of, is Symmetra having turrets. Now, could they change the way those turrets work? Absolutely. But I don't want them to get rid of it. You know, I'd rather them get rid of like the teleporter and the shield gen than the turrets. I think the turrets are the staple of Symmetra's like character. Kind of like, you know, Rez is kind of the staple of Mercy's character, which is why they kind of don't want to get rid of it. So yeah, I hope they don't get rid of Symmetra having turrets. That's the only thing that I'm really like, please don't get rid of it. You know, I like the teleporter more than the shield gen, but I like the shield gen has more uses. It can be kind of far away, but it's like literally every single match I play has a tracer, so it's just like you already know that the shield gen and the teleporter is going down as soon as you put it up. It's going down. So all right, so like last but not least, I wanted to talk about some of the things that I want to see, like personally want to see. So none of these things are like, I'm not gonna try to clickbait y'all and say like changes that we may see. You know, these are just like changes from my imagination as a OG Symmetra, a triple OG Symmetra main with over like 400 hours. Like, these are things that I would like to personally. So one of the things I would like to see, I know a lot of people were talking about like light bridges like she did on the comic, but the problem I think with that is like where, like I can't really see a light bridge being that useful. Like, it might have its niche uses, but I don't feel like it's gonna be like one of those things where it's like, oh, thank God I have my light bridge right now. So, but one thing I would like to see, however, is for Symmetra to kind of have like this thing where like, maybe like a light barrier where like, okay, for instance, I'm sorry, I'm going to check out this round. Let's say I'm getting chased down by a Reaper, right? And I'm going up the steps, and see how this little closed thing, I could put like a thing right here to like block, like I could block entrances and exits for like a certain period, not a certain period, maybe a certain period of time would be better, because then if it was just like whereas they couldn't go past it. So kind of like similar to May's ice wall, except it could be destroyed. It just has like, you know, less health, or maybe it's only up for like, no, it couldn't be on a timer, because that would just be like Maze. But like yeah, I would like it if it was kind of like it had maybe 200 health or like 100 health, something like where it can be destroyed, but it would give you some time to like, you know, get around. Or like if they had like a team, like if say somebody's trying to flank and you see them coming, you can like stop them before you can stop them before they come through, right? Oh wait, I don't know what I don't, oh, everyone's dying, but I have the teleport. Where did I even put the damn teleport? I don't even remember. I hope it's in somewhere that's useful. Damn, I tried. Oh no. Shit. Alright, well, yeah, but I think that would be cool. Like some kind of like way Symmetra could like restrict certain pathways. Because like her turrets were kind of supposed to do that, but it ain't work out. And then Winston can just, everybody could just like spray him down. But like if she had something like this, then it would kind of serve more as a support mechanic, and it would kind of give Symmetra some more, it would improve her quality of life, because a lot of times she's gonna be in like she's gonna try to be in kind of enclosed places because of her turrets anyway. So it would make it harder for people to just chase you down and kill you without any thought, you know? So another thing that I was thinking of, a person, like instead of like the teleporter, like Symmetra could teleport through solid walls into like rooms. So like for instance, if there's like, say I'm like fighting this battle right here, and there's like, you know how like there's a room right here, I could like kind of phase through this. Like if I put like a little thing, maybe like Sombra's translocator, like a little thing on the wall, and it maybe takes like 3 seconds to activate, and then like once it activates, you know, I'm posted up right here, but if shit starts to pop off, I could go back to my little thing, and then I'll end up like in this room. Which would also make it harder for people to just gun you down, you know what I'm saying? Because like I feel like that's the, it's just like Symmetra really doesn't have an escape route, and I think that's what causes a lot of her viability to kind of go down. So those were two things that I was just thinking of. There's shit up here. Jump right in. Maybe I could take him out. I'm gonna try.
60 seconds.
No, you first. No, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. It was a good thought, but it didn't pan out. But see, like if I had my little wall thing, I could put the wall up and then run away, because I saw that was a lose-lose situation for me. Really? Oh, I thought that was coming for me. What were some other I'm trying to like think of other things that would like be kind of cool for Symmetra. Obviously healing. Everyone's been talking about damn healing turrets since Jesus was on the earth. Like healing turrets would definitely be something that would be useful. Like if we're not gonna make Symmetra a full-fledged DPS, you know, honestly, I just feel like give her a way to heal, even if it's a little bit of heal, like Zenyatta has, like something. Just let her do something with the heal, you know. There's a lot going on here. Please kill him before. Oh, Mercy's mind your own fucking business. Okay. Oh wait. Uh oh. All right, Diva, come on, we got this. Yes. Thank you. Look, I'm gonna save you. I'm gonna do my part. Oh, never mind. Okay, so another thing that I think would be a very useful thing for Symmetra is a run mechanic, like so that she could get back to the fight quicker. Or she could like put up her teleporter quicker, or put up the turrets quicker. You know, like just like even like soldiers run instead of like a like it could be like her passive, I guess. But like instead of like it be like an actual technique, she could have it like, you know how like you run in Battleborn, like you press down the left button, or like I'm sure in other shooters where people can run like normally, you know, like just like she can just run, but then she wouldn't be able to use her like, you know, gun and run at the same time, you know, so that it's not like she can't just take out every single person in the world. Oh, leave me alone. So yeah, I think her being able to run would be like, I know that that's a slippery slope because Symmetra doesn't aim. Her being able to run is kind of scary, but I mean Mora can teleport. Like, geez, I feel like Mora can win more 1v1s than Symmetra right now. So, and Symmetra is supposed to focus on damage. You know what I'm saying? So I think something with that is a little off. So maybe, you know, maybe we'll see Symmetra have some kind of move. I feel like what I wanted was Symmetra to have something like Sombra, where she had like like literally, I think when I talked about this before Sombra was here, I was like, I wish Symmetra had a thing where she could teleport to a specific location that she marked on the map, and then all of a sudden Sombra came out, and it was like, goddamn, never mind. So yeah, those are just my thoughts. I don't, what else? If you have any other ideas for Symmetra that I didn't mention, please list them. Let's discuss. Let's talk about them. Yes! Ha! I don't care if I die now. I killed Farah, and that's all that matters. Whoa, by the way, I think Hoshi did a video about the Symmetra changes, and one thing he was saying was like, where she could put the turrets out on like a more wider radius. That would be very clutch, because like you gotta get so close to the wall, and like you can only put them a certain height, and it's just very like it's just exhausting. And then like if there's a Pharah, you really can't do much. Like you can't run, or if there's a Widow, you can't run across the map and put up turrets. And then Winston can easily take him out because of the height. But if you could put him really high, it would be a lot harder for him to take it out. You know what I'm saying? No. No. Okay, good. Sorry. I mean, sorry for Farah, but good for me. So, yeah, I thought that was a good idea as well. Oh, another thing I was thinking is like, what if Symmetra's turrets like were, maybe what if she had like 4 turrets instead of 6, but like they were way more powerful and like harder to destroy, you know what I'm saying? And they like could cut through shields. Wouldn't that be hype? Like 4 super turrets, or like she could decide, you know what I'm saying? Like she could put down turret level 1, or she could put up super turrets which took up like 2 turrets, so she could put like 4 turrets and then 1 super turret, you know, like something something cool. And like after a certain amount of time, the turret would cut through the barrier, like, you know, Winston. Because like a lot of times when you have the turrets by the choker on the point, all Winston has to do is put down his bubble, and like all the turrets are obsolete if the team is like just within the bubble. The bubble's so damn big, you know what I'm saying? So like, what if she had like a turret, or like she could do, like she could choose, you know, with like a evil turret. I don't know why, not evil, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Also with her ult, like, I mean, I really don't think they're gonna do anything with, like, I feel like they're gonna keep her ult as it is, but
30 seconds remaining.
I don't know. I feel like, like, what could they do? Because if they, let's say they add even more health to the ult, then it would be like, I feel like it might be too hard to take out. That's me. Oh no, it's not. It's Diva. Okay, I'm safe. I need to go. Ooh, I got her and I wasn't even trying. Yeah. Ooh, I'm wrecking shit. I'm wrecking shit. Haha! There we go. Ooh, I better get play of the game. I probably not, but I should right there. I think Diva's gonna get it for when she cleared the point out, but let me just say, we might not have won that if it wasn't for that teleporter and that them turrets. Okay, well anyway. Yeah, I think that's all I can think of. But yeah, if you got any other ideas that you think would be a good idea for the rework, yeah, let's talk about them. Let's brainstorm. Maybe I doubt Blizzard will ever see this video, but in the case they do, they're like, let's look up some Symmetra mains and see what their ideas are. Look, let's give them some ideas. So, all right, guys, I will talk to you later. Yeah, peace.